company.
What's up, guys? It's James back again with DUNK360 here at St. John's University, Carnesecca Arena. We're here for the Dribble for the Cure event. We're going to catch up with Steve Lavin and some of his players on this year's roster. We're going to talk about their style, what kind of music they like, and this event itself. So let's go check it out. James with DUNK360 here with St. John's basketball head coach, Coach Steve Lavin. Steve, how you doing today?
Good, glad to be with you.
Now, Steve, we know why we're here, but I wanted to touch a different side of Steve Lavin, the fashion side of you. Now, you're looking great in this Under Armour outfit, but this is not usually why we see you on the sidelines. Usually you're in a dapper suit. What influences you? Is that a character maybe on the court that you've created, or is that how Steve Lavin likes to dress?
Well, if you go back to my upbringing, my mother and father believed that, you got to look sharp, and I had coaches that believed in looking sharp to play sharp, and so it's probably something that's evolved. My father was a natty dresser. He was more preppy, Brooks Brothers, with the khakis, the Oxfords, the button-downs, the wingtips, the V-neck sweaters. My style's a little different than his, but I'd say probably having a father and a mother that believed it was important that you put yourself together and that you look sharp and you presented well and in all fronts of life, not just going to church on Sunday, but also going to school. And when you get into the workforce and you're interviewing for a job, I think it's important that you conduct yourself in a professional manner and you take pride in your appearance. And those are the kind of fundamentals that come from old school parents.
Okay. Now, speaking with the fashion, you have your coaching staff wear Air Force Ones on the sidelines with the suits. Tell us a little bit about that tradition and how it started.
Well, now what we're going to do is, of course, be rocking the Under Armour shoes because we've transitioned as a university.
Sneakers.
I think we're going to continue to have some sneakers on occasions. And that really came from a Coaches vs. Cancer program. And there's a weekend every year where all the coaches in the country rock their sneakers to bring awareness and to help raise funds in the fight against cancer. So really it came about from being a champion of the fight against cancer and such a worthy cause. And of course, on a personal level, my father had cancer, my grandmother had cancer, my niece had cancer, and most recently I was diagnosed with cancer in August of 2010. So I'd say it's just being inspired to fight the good fight against cancer.
Okay. And you have an interesting upcoming season coming up. What do you feel about the new additions to the team and the potential of this team with the new alignment of the Big East?
Well, I love this basketball team, both on the court and off the court. They're talented, gifted individuals, but I also enjoy them as young men. They're good people. They were raised the right way. They have the right values. They're all works in progress, as we all are, but I couldn't choose better company than to hang out with these young folks. And I think it's a team that's poised or positioned to do something special. We've worked 3+ years tirelessly at recruiting to get to this point where we feel we're on more equal footing in terms of the artillery, the firepower, the balance of size, strength, skill, and quickness, inside-outside attack. And we got more seasoning now. We were the youngest team in the country 2 straight years, but now some of those players have become upperclassmen, and yet we got some nice young talent coming in. And so this is a team that could make some noise if we stay injury-free.
Now, you've coached in the epicenter, 2 epicenters of basketball, really, at UCLA and now here in New York City for St. John's. Anything you miss about the West Coast?
Sure. The sunshine year-round, the 72-degree temperature, my family. But I love New York. My wife loves New York. There's an energy that's palpable from the moment you walk out of your apartment and you hit the pavement. I live downtown, and there's just a level of oxygen that's created off the energy of the people, whether it's the architecture, the cobblestone streets, style, fashion, the diversity, the ethnicity. I love New York, and it's one of the few places I would have returned to coach. I had a nice gig at ESPN ABC, was enjoying my work there, running with my partner Brent Musburger and Dave O'Brien, my play-by-play guys. And St. John's came along and it was too special to pass up. Madison Square Garden, the rich heritage and tradition, and just a special place.
Now, final question is, I don't know if you've heard this before, but if not, I'm going to coin it, the Pat Riley of college basketball. Now, is Steve Lavin more New York or is he more Hollywood?
I'm more Bay Area. If you go to the roots or the origins, I'm a San Francisco Bay Area guy.
Okay.
Grew up in Northern California, but also spent 23 years in LA, and now coming up on 4 years in New York, 20 in San Francisco. So on years, I have more time in LA.
How about personality-wise?
Personality-wise, I think it's always growing.
Okay.
New York has given me a little bit of a harder edge. You can't help it. It's just the nature of the place, and makes you a little feistier. Okay. And you wake up with your axe sharpened, and you're always sharpening those blades for all aspects of life. But the Bay Area, my roots, Northern California, San Francisco, but I wouldn't have traded my time in LA either. And I'm someone that can adapt. I got a little bit of a chameleon in my game. And I think that's important. We teach our players, you got to be flexible, got to be able to adapt to changing circumstances if you're going to be successful in anything in life. So they drop me into Barcelona next, I would adapt there as well.
Thanks, Steve.
All right,
Appreciate your time.
Enjoyed it. This is Steve Lavin, head basketball coach at St. John's University, and you're watching DUNK360.
So they let you tote that record player down there, huh?